Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet. Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. Big game, James Worthy, Caron Butler.
Got a new Worthy.
Yeah, you do.
Put a little,
Look at the bounce to it.
got a little bounce to the Worthy clap.
It's changing, and I like it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, add a little something to it. I'm Chris McGee. We got Brez over here. We got Allie and Trudell working the post-game reaction from the Lakers. Lakers win a big one. Go up 3-1. What a great game. Denver continued to put pressure on this Laker team. Multiple times the Lakers were up 10, 11, 12. They could not blow them out, Caron, because Denver just kept coming back. But a big win for this Laker team to go up 3-1. By the way, that's right where Denver wants them, everyone says, right? Not this time.
Yeah, look, you got to give a ton of credit, you know, to the Denver Nuggets for just continuing to fight and try to pull away. You know, they was going uphill for quite some time. The Lakers did a remarkable job at holding them off, you know, for extended periods of the game. But Coach Vogel, wow. Inserting Dwight Howard into the starting lineup, addressing the rebound issue. And, look, the second chance points in our favor. AD didn't rebound the ball particularly well, had the ankle sprain, the little tweak, but was still able to just fight through. Rondo played excellent basketball all the way around, you know, inserted his fingerprints all over this quality win. And then LeBron, just being LeBron down the stretch.
Yeah, I think the key word I would use for tonight's game would be poise. The Lakers came out strong. AD came back from the last game with redemption on his mind. Very aggressive in the first quarter, almost unstoppable. But I agree with Caron. To me, the I don't want to say the player of the game, but I think the guy that set the tone was Dwight Howard. Getting a double-double, you know, in the minutes that he had. And I think, you know, that energy kind of transferred, he and AD both. And I think you're right. You know, they fought off Denver's comeback. Denver's going to come back. A lead with them is nothing. You have to play as if you're behind all the time. So I think, you know, they had really good poise, hit some shots when they had to, and the defense was sticky down the stretch.
That's good. Dwight Howard, guys, in that first quarter, we keep talking about it. It was a big move by the Lakers. 8 points on 4 for 4, 8 rebounds, 4 of those offensive. The Lakers scored 37 points in that first quarter. They have a 7-point lead at the end of that quarter. Jokic only 1 field goal attempt. Gets in foul trouble. Huge. Lakers, now we have to give them credit. We gave Denver credit for hanging around, but this Laker team was winning the entire game. And all that pressure put on them. They hit the free throws. They hit the shots when they needed to. They got rebounds. Caron, you mentioned the second chance points. Plus 19. 25-6. Plus 8 in rebounding. Completely flipped the script from game 3. A lot of credit goes to this Laker team. They did what they had to do. Remember, this is the Western Conference Finals. It's not going to be easy. If you think the Denver Nuggets are going away, they're not. It's a great team. Lakers did what they had to do to win.
Yeah, I love the fact that, you know, you can win a game from being up the entire game. You can win a game from being behind. You can win the game with late game heroics, and you saw that with, you know, Anthony Davis hitting a huge pin down shot. So, you know, look, now you just got to close them out. But like Big Gabe said, they like being down 3-1 for some reason.
They really do.
They got the Lakers right where they want them.
Series. The Denver Nuggets are down 3-1. I think this time it's going to be a little different. Let's go baking to Orlando. Playoff Rondo, speaking with Mike Trudell.
All right, Rajon, quite a finish to this game. I want to ask you about the offensive rebound, the big one, with about 30 seconds left. You're on the weak side, spread out to the three-point line. Take me through your thought process there before you get in to grab that board.
I knew we were running down late in the shot clock, and I just wanted to make a play. If the shot didn't go in, I wanted to give us a chance to get another possession at it, waste some more time off the clock. Didn't make both, but made one, and I think it was a decent play to make at that time of the game.
You know, don't even know the total playoff games that you and LeBron, just the two of you guys have played over the course of your careers. Where does that kind of experience come out the most in a game like tonight that's this tight?
Just poise and confidence, keeping our composure down late game in the stretch, and we were able to come out and execute on both ends of the floor and get the W.
You guys know this Denver team doesn't quit. That's been pretty consistent throughout the playoffs. What did you see from them, and how were you able to kind of keep them at bay in that fourth quarter until you eventually won the game?
Well, I think it changed when LeBron went to Murray. You know, 6'8" guy, defensive player on him. It was tough to make those shots he's made on all the small guards. So Brown took the challenge, he set the tone, and we were able to get some stops and get out and run.
All right, and the last thing I had for you, Denver playing really well defensively, really packing that paint. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to try and still get in good shots, get yourself in places to get good shots, I should say?
Just let the ball find the right man. You know, they're clamping the paint down. Myself and Brian got to do a better job of taking care of the ball, which I think we did tonight, and we got our shoes open looks.
Rajon, appreciate it. 3-1 Lakers have the advantage here in the Western Conference Finals. Appreciate it, man.
Rajon Rondo, we got to talk about him. Playoff Rondo, everyone likes to call him around this time of year. In that third quarter, he was big. He had 8 points. Remember, he had 0 at the half, but 8 points. And then more than that, you see in the fourth quarter, the offensive rebound Mike was talking to him about, the 7 assists, the 5 rebounds, the extra possessions. That's the thing about Rondo, Karan. At the end of the game, you're going to look at that stat line. You're going to say, man, Rondo's close to a triple-double again. But it's the extra things.
Yeah, but this is what I love about Rondo, and I've played with Rondo, and not on a winning team, but he made the environment feel like winning in Sacramento. But he has a unique way of just getting everybody in their respective locations. That's what he does. He just calms you down. Even LeBron sometimes, he'll get the ball to Rondo and just be like, okay, I feel at ease because he has a high basketball IQ. KCP cutting to the basket, easy by the basket, put it in the paint, easy too. And defensively, and then offensive rebounding. He just does the little things.
There was a big play at 105-102. Murray attacked. LeBron gets the block. They go down the other way. Rondo jump stop at the free throw line, just like you were taught when you're in third grade.
Freezes everybody.
Freezes everybody. Looks around, no one there. Takes a nice 15-foot jumper. Nails it. 107-102. Last bucket of the game, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it.
He is a basketball encyclopedia, okay? He's not going to do anything too spontaneous. He's not going to try to be too creative. I mean, he's creative, but he's not going to try to do anything. He surveys the situation. He and Jokic remind me a lot of each other, of how they think and how they can read defenses and how they can read the moment. There was one moment when I think it was Morris fouled out. They were, it was getting tight right there. And Rondo called everybody in. I don't know what they talked about, but he had everybody in a huddle, and he was just talking. He saves coaches timeouts for what he does on the floor. He's so good at what he does on the floor, recognizing the momentum switches, the energy of the game. It's amazing to watch him play.
Let's not forget game 2. When Frank told us Rondo goes into his ear at the timeout. You want me to throw the ball in? Get in there, and then he just throws that bounce pass. I mean, he's just done little things along the way that add up to huge things. That makes sense.
From his decision-making standpoint, and I always tell people this, pure point guards in the game of basketball today, it's Chris Paul and it's Rondo.
Yeah.
Those are the last 2 pure point guards in the game of basketball that gets it and that always find a way to make other guys better and put them in position to make key plays.
Our producer, Ryan Trainer, gave us a good stat, too. He is climbing up the charts on the playoff list for assists.
Yeah, he's close.
There he is at 8, 1,049. He just passed a couple of great players, the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant, Scottie Pippen. He's got Nash, Larry Bird in his sights. He's just climbing up.
You know all those names in that top 10 right there? Them Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
And it's not by accident.
Hello.
He's done it, and he's done it year in and year out. And
you know what that means too, James? You've been in a lot of playoff games in your career.
You're
a winner.
He just passed 11 championships right there, in Pippen and Kobe.
It's funny too, Laker fans. I mean, this was a rival for a long time, Karan. This is a Boston Celtic. And he comes here and you ride the emotion with him and the roller coaster, and he has these unbelievable moments and other moments where you're like, oh, he's forcing it. But man, you get to these games, you want him on your team.
I'll say that again.
You want him on your team.
Ain't that right, Brad?
He used to be a Celtic?
Was he? Forgot about that.
Remember.
All right, let's get you to the highlights so you can check them out here. Lakers, Nuggets. Lakers wanting to go up 3-1 here. Anthony Davis attacking early. He had 14 in the first quarter. He's got all 6 Laker points here. Reverse is good. Here he is again. I want to face you up. One dribble, create space. All 8 points so far. But you know who's on the other team? Rising star. If you didn't know his name heading into the bubble, you weren't really watching. He good. Jamal Murray got 6. AD spinning. Finish, James.
Yeah.
Davis 6 for 6 in the first quarter.
Yeah, attack mode. I don't care. I'm going to do my thing. You're either going to foul me, I'm going to get to my sweet spot. Incredible in the first quarter.
Caron giving Frank Vogel tons of credit there a little moment ago because of this guy. They made the change. They adjusted. We've seen it every single series. Dwight gets the start, and he rewards the Lakers. Here he is with a great catch by LeBron. 12-3 Laker run. Off the Kuz miss here, Caron. Guess what's going to happen? Dwight using the body. Textbook. Textbook box out.
Look at the work. He was working 3 or 4 seconds in advance, and he got that position over Jokic. Just kind of boxed him out. Working early. That's what I liked about Dwight Howard.
Nuggets, though. Plumlee. Lakers are going to force a turnover here, Caron, and they're going the other way.
Look at that. Excellent steal by Rondo. Look, could have easily laid that ball in, waited for the king, and then dumped it off. Perfect time for him to finish with 2.
Rondo Johnson. Second quarter. Great Laker ball movement, James.
Yeah, I thought that play with Kuz curling in was really good because they were able to collapse the defense and find the shots in the corner. And then Kuz moving without the basketball. LeBron doing a great job dropping that dime, Peter.
Big time strength of Kuz's game. Moving without the ball, getting you to open spots, Caron, and LeBron finds it.
Look, all you got to do is stay moving. He will find you. You don't have to seek out opportunities because he's going to find you right in the groove.
How about that right there? Plumlee gets up on AD, little spin, hit a bucket. Good closeout by Morris. Doesn't matter. Jokic hits the 3. Miss. LeBron, rebound. It's that speed right there where you know he's going to finish, right, Caron?
When he's going north-south like that, nobody want to jump in front of him.
Over.
Millsap seen that movie before.
Okay, everyone stop and listen and watch. Are you kidding me, James? Show it again.
Yeah. I mean, he had that one in the previous playoff was kind of a 360, and that one over LeBron James with some English on it.
Caron lost his mind when we were watching that together.
What was that, Space Jam 1.5?
That was ridiculous.
Not
Look
quite
at Dwight. Look at Dwight doing work. 11 points, 10 rebounds, Caron.
I love how physical he was down there, made his presence felt all night.
60-55 at the half, third quarter. Jeremy Grant, he's coming off that huge game 3, hits another 3.
He had made himself some money in these playoffs.
Yes, he did, trading baskets. Davis deep, 63-58. AD now dishing it out. KCP in the corner. Bang. 69-60. But big game, Murray continues to impress.
Yeah, I mean, Gita, when he's going downhill, he's under control, so he's going to find a body or an angle. He has some incredible shots. He's a shot maker.
How about LeBron getting his own rebound right there?
Coach don't like that. Not the shooter.
KCP driving baseline.
Stick it.
Top juice.
Look at him, man. He recognized who was coming. He was like, Joker, he can't jump over that sheet of paper. That's in the studio. 2 hands for safety.
Rajon Rondo on the inbounds pass. 2 hands for safety. KCP, the easy finish. Playoff Rondo. Remember, we mentioned him in the third. He had 8 in that quarter.
Oh.
He's so good off the glass with that one-handed quick shot.
Yeah, Rondo has big hands for a point guard, and he can control that little one-hand flipper. But that right there was a classic show you, fake him out, thought he was going back to AD, fake everyone out for a nice soft kisser off the glass, Peter.
Michael Porter Jr. creating, step back, let Kuz fly by, drain.
That was good defense. This better offense right there by Porter.
Seconds left, Porter.
Don't go for the same one twice.
87-84. Nuggets trailing by 3. Woo. Let's get to the 4th. Markieff, the seal in the cut. 89-86 Lakers. Caron, Nuggets aren't going anywhere.
That move was just filthy right there by Murray. Ugh.
AD around the back.
Speaking of filthy.
And 1. Lakers 96-88 after the made free throw. All right, you can relax now. No, you can't, James. You know why? Jamal Murray.
That was a crazy shot right there. Over AD.
Heavyweight fight here. Back and forth. Blow for blow.
Scary moment.
Didn't like that at all. Big Game hasn't even seen it yet. He
Yeah, I can't
refuses
watch
to watch stuff like that.
I can't watch it.
Ooh. Left ankle. Caron, does that hurt more tomorrow?
That hurt in the moment, but you know what? He's different.
Yeah.
He got involved, he stayed up, stayed active and moving, and stayed on the court.
Murray spinning, off balance.
Oh, my.
I never see him miss shots. I mean, I know he does, but rarely.
The lob from guess who? Rondo to AD, Karan.
I was wondering about what that ankle was going to feel like, but he came back immediately and made his impact.
Kind of thought this might be the dagger big game, but it wasn't. Millsap, who's been really quiet in this series, hits the corner ball three.
That was an old school lineup.
All right, we talked about LeBron's defense on Murray. Back-to-back possessions. Here's Rondo to LeBron. So the assist for Rondo. Morris, the and one. So it's a three-point game. Here's the play I was talking about, Karan. Defense, LeBron, let's go the other way. Take it home for me.
I love the fact that they did not call any play on that. Rondo going off in transition. Everybody ran their lanes, and he just froze, stopped on the dime, followed through, easy, cash.
Lakers win 114-108. Anthony Davis with 34, 10 of 15 from the field, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. LeBron James, 26, 9 and 8. Dwight Howard, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Remember, LeBron just 10 free throws through the first 3 games. Lakers were not happy. LeBron, 14 free throws in game 4, hit 11 of them. Those were big. Rondo off the bench, 11 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Game 5 is necessary, and it's on Saturday. We bring in Mike Bresnahan. Brez, I gave you a lot right there. What's kind of sticking out to you watching that game?
Yeah, definitely. Frank Vogel kind of putting that out to the media the other day. You know, LeBron's not getting enough free throws, and sure enough, he did okay at the line tonight. But more importantly to me, it was his second chance points. I mean, the Lakers really dominated in the rebounding category. Dwight Howard, 6 offensive rebounds in the first half. An amazing night for him. But when you outscore someone by almost 20 points in second chance points, odds are you're going to win that game. That was definitely the difference tonight.
Yeah. You know, every team has their specialty, what they're good at, you know, and you have to know what you can beat the other team in, okay? Rebounding, points in the paint, things like that, you have to take care of. And I think if you take care of those categories, then it becomes more of an even, you know, playing field. You can play defense, but if you don't take care of those situations and you allow them to get offensive rebounds and you have to stop Jokic and Murray and Grant, it becomes a problem. So I think what they did tonight was take care of the things that they are really good at and that they should dominate in, took care of the game.
Yeah, in the last 2 minutes, they had 3 offensive rebounds. The first one from AD, okay, makes sense. He's a big guy. But then with about a minute left, KCP, a big tap-out offensive rebound to the top of the key. And, of course, Rondo, 30 seconds left, he got an offensive rebound. Those 3 rebounds right there led to 5 Laker points. They needed every one of them, pretty much.
Let's talk Anthony Davis. After hitting that game winner in game 2, it was Jokic who got the best of him in game 3. AD setting the tone, Karan, in that first quarter with 14, and then in the fourth, he gets 10. He ends up with 34. What did you see from Anthony Davis?
And he came out just with the right mindset. I don't even think he missed a shot in the first quarter, and if he did, probably one. It was
6
late.
for 6.
Yeah, man, he was just balling, and I feel like that's the way that he has to insert himself. It's the reason why Joker was in foul trouble, because one, he had to deal with Dwight Howard wrestling him in the paint for rebounds and opportunities, carving out space. And then he had to, you know, get in a mismatch situation because no one on the planet can guard a guy as versatile as Anthony Davis. And he was facing up. He was just driving them, whether it was Millsap or Joker. He put them at a disadvantage every time, and he got out on the right foot.
Yeah, it didn't matter who was on him. He's oversized, you know, so once he get to 15 feet, he's got a lot of options, and he took advantage of them early tonight. Nice soft touches, little 10, 12-foot jumpers, floaters. But I really think, you know, they did do a good job of neutralizing Jokic tonight. He was not impactful at all. I know he was in foul trouble, but that's what Dwight Howard does. You have to work a little bit harder when you're playing against Dwight Howard. He's going to get in your way. He's not going to let you have your path. He aggravates you. And I think that had a lot to do with the neutralizing
You
Jokic.
brought up something, James, during the highlight when we showed the replay. Literally 3 seconds before that shot even goes up, Dwight is absolutely battling him, put a body on him, and getting position. And Jokic then has to fight. He's not, he's already behind the 8 ball on that.
Can't compete with him.
Yeah, and it's physical.
Off the ball, Dwight Howard's good off the ball. When there's action going on the perimeter, he's down there beating the hell out of people, getting position, getting ready for a rebound. So, good job.
How concerned are you about the ankle for AD?
Not real concerned. Right away, he gets up, has an alley-oop stuff, so I think he's going to be okay. It can swell up. I remember Gary Vitti, the longtime Laker trainer, once telling me, what happens at night is important, but what happens the next morning is almost equally important. How does he feel when he wakes up in Orlando?
Yeah, now they have 24-hour treatment all night long. He'll get treated well.
He'll have a stim machine and all that stuff.
I'll fly out to the bubble if I have to and do the massage therapy. Whatever you need. All right, let's hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Frank, Rondo said in the walkout that he thought LeBron switching over to Murray was kind of the key to the stretch defensively. Wondered if that was a communication between the two of you, if LeBron just called for it, and then what you made of how he executed it.
LeBron asked for the assignment, and obviously I granted it. And he did a great job down the stretch. Trying to contain him one-on-one. Murray had a great night. And nothing was really working in terms of trying to slow him down until Bron took that assignment. So, game ball to him, I guess, for that move.
Frank, you talked about limiting turnovers and changing the rebounding, the battle around. What did you think were the keys for those items?
Yeah, we paid more attention to it. Our commitment to hit people on the glass was far better in this game than it was last game, as well as our commitment to crash. Offensive rebounding is an effort play. We want to play effort offense, running the floor, crashing, driving hard to the paint. And, our guys did a good job with that. Committed to the defensive rebounding, limited them, I think, 6 offensive rebounds. And, the turnovers is just about, making a simple play. We really tried to thread the needle too much in the last 2 games and did a much better job of that tonight.
Hey, Frank, it's Dave. How would you describe the effort that Anthony Davis came out with to begin this game, and then also the way he was able to persevere through that ankle injury and finish things off?
Yeah, great toughness. You can see he was in some pain after that happened, and but the way he started the game was off the charts. It was just his shot making was ridiculous, and his just energy, all over the floor, defending, rebounding, running the floor. And obviously just scoring the ball at will to start the game. So he was terrific tonight.
Frank, what do you think was the biggest factor for you guys in being able to turn around the rebounding margin?
Commitment. Obviously Dwight helped. Being in the starting lineup. He gives us a presence down there. He's one of the best rebounders on both sides. So that helps some. But our team commitment was just far better than it was in the last game.
Hey, Frank, kind of piggybacking on that, how contagious is what Dwight did with those, I think, 4 or 5 early offensive rebounds kind of throughout the roster and the game, and really asking, with the way you guys offensive rebounded in the final 2 minutes, even though Dwight's not on the floor, is there maybe some way you can trace those plays back to what he did in the first minutes of the game?
I think somewhat. The perimeter crashing is different than what Dwight does, but Dwight just brings energy. You know what I mean? He fits what we want to embody in terms of being a team that plays harder than our opponent every night. He plays extremely hard and extremely physical, and really set a great tone for us tonight.
Alec?
Yeah?
You kind of flirted with that decision to White, seemingly. Why was it?
We lost game 3. And in the loss, his energy was, to me, infectious. And, we knew what he could do in this matchup. We just saw we like to try to start the series with the lineups that we played throughout the season, and then you fill out the series. You know what I mean? We know this is something that we could always go to. We started the series 2-0. Lost game 3, played poorly. It wasn't anything with the starting lineup, as a matter of fact, in game 3 that cost us the victory. But, I just wanted to be able to get him in there more, than bringing him in mid-second quarter.
He'll be there again in Game 5.
We'll let you know then.
Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals is Saturday. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock on TNT. We'll get you ready for tip-off with Access Sportsnet. Lakers starting at 5. And after the game, you switch back. We'll have all your post-game coverage, including all the player interviews, highlights, and analysis. And hopefully, the big game, James Clapp, headed to a final. We shall see. 13 points for KCP. Scored in double figures. 6 straight games. He's speaking with Allie.
I want to begin with the one thing you guys have done so well here in the postseason. You haven't had to do it often, but your ability to bounce back and respond after losses. What is it about this team that comes out with that mindset and ability to get the job done after a loss, as you guys were able to take that 3-1 seriously?
I think as a team, our mindset is we don't want to lose 2 in a row. And that's been our mindset throughout the whole season. And just carry over into playoffs. We always tell ourselves we don't want to lose 2 in a row, and we hold ourselves accountable to that.
For you, especially in this series, we know how well you have shot the 3, but I know how much it means to you to take pride on the defensive end. And Contavious, since the start of the postseason, you think about Dame and CJ, then Russ and James. What is it that Jamal Murray is requiring from you guys as a team, as yourself, when you draw that matchup, that you guys have to be so good at and we're able to succeed ultimately here with him tonight?
I feel like we just got to be engaged with our game plan. When we come out, before we come out of the locker room, we already know what we're going to do. And I know we're going to make mistakes throughout the game, but we got to do it with great effort and try to limit the mistakes. And just try to take Jamal Murray out most of the plays that they run, make somebody else score the ball.
Which is obviously easier said than done. One final point from me, Contavious. A lot of people are saying right now Denver has you guys exactly where they want you, given the history of them here in this postseason. To close this thing out on Saturday, what's it going to take, especially over the next 24 hours as you get in prepared?
Right now, just get back to the hotel, decompress, treatment, take care of our bodies. But I figure we got to come out like we did tonight. Great energy. I know we started the game with great energy. We led throughout the whole game. We led. So we just got to continue to put the pressure on them.
Brand.
Brez, I go back to Dwight not playing nearly at all outside of Game 1 in the Rockets series and staying mentally sharp and cheering on his teammates because he knew his time would come. That's part of being on a team.
You have to give him a lot of credit. I mean, you have to go back to 7 years ago when he played for the Lakers and kind of fell out of favor with the fans. This year, completely different Dwight. The fans loved him. He was very interactive, and he played hard. And he took his role the right way, whether he was coming off the bench or in the last series, barely playing at all. He stayed ready, got the big start tonight, and a big, big reason why they won this game.
And, Karan, another big reason was defensively where the Lakers are. The entire playoff run, but tonight LeBron James in that fourth quarter.
I think he did a remarkable job at stepping up, asking and identifying a matchup that he felt like he could have an impact on in guarding Jamal Murray down the stretch. Now, clearly we know you can't guard him 4 quarters because that's just pretty much impossible with the streak that he's been on. But LeBron did a remarkable job down the stretch, which really closed the game and got us this victory. As you see, he's meeting him at the rim and just forcing him to do different things. That could have easily been an offensive charge by Murray. And I love the fact that once you do something good on the defensive end, you stride down and get rewarded on the offensive end. You see the 2 points by LeBron, Rondo seeking them out and finding them. Now look, he could have easily went over. He didn't. He went under, and he met him at the rim again, shooting over that length and that athleticism in LeBron James. And this is the play that you love, Geeter, where Rondo's coming down, everybody jog to their respective locations. That's a Chris Johnson Skills Academy move right there, where Rondo just plant it, look both ways, pull up. Perfect.
Real nice breakdown right there. Big-time defense. We talk a lot about the stars and what they do throughout the game. Let's look at the fourth quarter scoring, James. I want you to take a look at this. LeBron James and AD getting it done in the fourth quarter. AD finishing with 34 points. He did that on only 15 shots, which is impressive. Look at the fourth. 10 points from Anthony Davis, 9 points from LeBron James, 10 from Jamal Murray, 0 from Jokic, 0 for 4 from the field.
Yeah, that's what you want down the stretch. You want to go to your bread and butter. Unfortunately for Denver, Jokic was in foul trouble. He kept going in and out for offense, out for defense. That's kind of what the Lakers wanted. And, the stars stepped up. And they got quality shots. Some of them were quality shots. Great effort plays by both LeBron and AD. LeBron getting block shots, and then AD getting some big offensive rebounds down the stretch. That's what leaders do.
You know what else, Skeet? Here's what I like about Dwight. I thought the last game he kind of got a little too into kind of getting in Jokic's head. He got a technical foul. He kind of overplayed his hand a little bit, had only 1 rebound, played only 14 minutes. Tonight, no antics from Dwight. He really, I think he bothered Jokic a lot, but he wasn't doing like on the tough guy routine, getting technical fouls, stayed within his game, and really just beat him. A lot of really good position to get those offensive rebounds. Jokic was not very good tonight, period.
I'm going to go back to something that Big Game touched on, and Brad, you did as well. When you're doing your work early, taking somebody's legs underneath them, carving out space, punishing them in the paint, all that little extra 3 seconds of this tussling, it takes a lot away from you, your legs on the offensive end of the floor. Mm-hmm. And I felt like Joker was, extremely flat. Even some of his shot fakes, he got to spots, he just didn't have enough lift. Not that he, accustomed to having lift, but he didn't have enough lift to finish those opportunities.
I want to go back to talking about LeBron because of the 360 you did, breaking down his defense. So often, I'm sure you hear it all the time, we all do, why doesn't he just take it to the rack every single time? Well, number one, he's human. So you can't just go to the rack every single time. You get a little tired, you get banged up. It's not as easy as it looks. He just makes it look easy, right? But it wasn't his usual fourth quarter on the offensive end, right? But he still ends up with 9 points. He got to the line more and he hit them. And then defensively is where he made his mark.
I think the biggest thing for him in this particular game was he just made the proper adjustments. He had the ball in his hand. He was getting a favorable call with the whistle. And Coach Vogel set the stage early with that. And I thought Brez did a remarkable job of breaking that down. Kind of Phil Jackson-ness, where you go out there and you put the messaging out there. And I just felt like the officiating was a lot different, when you're calling calls on him.
Yeah, you look at this, when they combined for 60 points, it's called a win, is what it is. That's a .947 win percentage for LeBron and AD. The only duo better, the minimum 15 games, Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, .952 win percentage. Brez, jump in.
Yeah, I just finished Jeff Pearlman's book on the Shaq-Kobe Lakers, and he had a really funny quote. It's from Greg Kite, so forgive this, James, the former NBA center who played for the Celtics. He was talking about Shaq. He said Shaq reminded him of a Christmas tree, because whenever he went up for a dunk, he'd have all these defenders hanging on him like ornaments. And I think LeBron is kind of like the modern-day rendition of that. I understand Frank Vogel's point that he was making to the media and also to the refs tonight indirectly. And I do think that LeBron is kind of like a mini Shaq in that he gets fouled a lot and doesn't always get rewarded, except tonight he did.
Point, counterpoint. Let's go to Coach Michael Malone.
Here we
see
go.
What he has to say to the media.
Too many free throws, he'll say.
There were, possessions where we played really good defense and just didn't finish it, which gave them extra possessions, extra life, extra opportunities. The ability to defend without fouling. They went to the foul line 35 times. I think I'm going to have to go through the proper channels like they did to see if we can figure out how we can get some more free throws. And then there were just a lot of breakdowns. I mean, we had a stretch where LeBron misses a free throw, gets the offensive rebound, put back. Caldwell Pope drives the baseline, gets a dunk. Caldwell Pope cuts to the basket. We don't tag from the weak side, layup. It was just too many breakdowns. This is the Western Conference Finals, Game 4. And if you can't help us on the defensive end, then maybe you shouldn't be on the floor. We got to be able to lock in and finish it off with the rebound. And we just had too many empty possessions on that end tonight.
So Mike Malone, in the beginning, talking about the free throw discrepancy. LeBron and AD combined for 28 free throws. The Nuggets 23. He said, we will go through the proper channels like the Lakers did, sending in tape saying, look at how few times LeBron James is going to the free throw line. So now it's the Nuggets' turn. This is what happens. Phil was the king of this. Pop, they all do it.
Psychological warfare.
I mean,
who was the aggressor, though?
Look, all I'm going to say is they should have beat the Lakers to it because now you're down 3-1.
Yeah.
So even if you do get the favorable whistle the next game, and it's not probably going to work because it's a closeout situation. But look, I mean, the Lakers are up, in a comfortable situation now. They granted themselves a cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying. I mean, the Lakers got 35 free throws. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Denver got 33 free throws in the last game.
Game 3.
So there's really not a lot to complain about if you're getting your calls as well.
And by the way, Mike Malone's just doing his job. We're not. Yeah, he's doing what he should do.
And Frank was doing his job when
100%.
he spoke to the media about the Lakers' lack of free throws in Game 3. I get it.
So, yeah, LeBron and AD, 28 combined. All right, LeBron is now sitting down with Mike in the media. Let's hear from him. LeBron James.
Hey, LeBron. Rondo said in the walk-off on Spectrum that he thought your switching over to Murray for those final few possessions was kind of the key difference defensively. It's not the first time you've switched over to a guard in pressure on the playoff games. Just wonder when you made that decision and what your mindset is when you're going against a smaller guy that's been that effective.
I know it was winning time, and Jamal had it going. The kid is special. He has an array of shots, the triple threat from the three, from the mid-range, and also in the paint. And for me, it's just trusting my defensive keys, trusting my study of film, trusting personnel, and living with the results. So. I told my teammates that I had them, and everyone else can kind of stay at bay and stay home. And I was able to get a couple stops, and we was able to rebound the basketball, which is the most important thing.
How are you feeling about the shots that you guys are getting? This Nuggets defense, especially in half court.
Say that again?
Wonder how you're feeling about the type of shots you guys are getting, especially against when they're packing the paint.
I think at times we're doing a great job, and at certain times that we could do a better job with our spacing, especially on our post-ups. They're doing a little doubling on the post at times, so we got to get a better outlet for AD when he's posting up, get the ball, swung as quickly as possible to get more looks. But I thought we did a really good job, more importantly tonight, of not turning the ball over. And that's the thing that we talked about in Game 2 and Game 3, is that we cannot turn the ball over versus this team, and we did a great job of that tonight.
LeBron, Frank said the other day that he's been trying to manage your minutes to a level where, maybe the least you played in your postseason career. Is that, with that management, does it allow you to keep something in reserve to make a move like requesting to guard Murray late a fourth quarter of the game tonight?
No, not for me. I don't reserve any energy. When I'm on the floor, I give it all I got. If I need a break, I ask for a break. But coach has done a good job of, getting me out throughout the course of a game. But I don't look at it as a reserve tank. I feel like I got pretty good energy when I'm on the floor all the time. It's winning time, and I don't have a chance or time to be feeling tired. I'm tired now. That's when I'm tired. When the zeros hit the clock, that's when I'm tired. But I'm not tired when I'm in the game.
LeBron, everybody's, now the Nuggets are down 3-1, just like they have been the last two series, and that's a narrative that everybody likes to talk about. You guys have also been up 3-1 in both of your series and closed them out. And in this game, you were able to sort of fix some of the issues that you had in Game 3. I'm wondering, what's your level of confidence that you guys will be able to take care of this in 5 games?
It's just about playing to our capability. Coming out with the game plan and execute it as close to 48 minutes. If we do that, we give ourselves a good chance to win.
Allie? All good?
LeBron, starting lineup on the way, obviously you made a big impact early. What was that impact? Where did you really feel that? And then late in the game, as you were closing it out, what did you like? Were you working well with the smaller lineup?
Dwight was a beast. Gave us opportunities when we missed shots, which, as a team, we missed a couple. AD didn't miss any, but as a team, when we missed a couple shots, he was cleaning glass, both offensively and defensively. Got us putbacks. He was able to kind of control the paint. We know we got smashed in the rebounding category in Game 3, so we want to do a better job of that. And Dwight brought that that physical presence, and it was great for our ball club. And tonight, late game, Doe was running pick and rolls. I was able to run a couple, but we just made our free throws. We made our free throws down the stretch, and and that's what closes games out. You got to get stops defensively and make your free throws when you're fouled, and I thought we did that.
Rachel?
just see how low his brow is. If his brow is really low, then you know not to talk to him. If it's higher, then he's accepted the fact that you allowed to come into his office and talk to him. Yesterday, his brow was very low in this part, and no one talked to him. So we already knew the mindset that it was in, and he came out and did it.
Morning.
So, LeBron, we saw your post talk about protecting black women, and a lot of people have said that as well. Specifically for you, what does that actually mean?
I think at the end of the day, respect is respect. And I mean, you just look at the history of, of America and the disrespect that black women has gotten all for the last 400 years. I mean, you can't turn a blind eye to that. When I look at my household and seeing, my daughter who's 5 on her way to 6, and my wife and my mom, and rest in peace, my grandmother, and so many black women that's done so many things for me, and seeing the sacrifices that they made, especially my mom when I was growing up, there was still disrespect along that way, and it's still like that today. So, in the case of obviously in Breonna Taylor's case, it's just, shows it once again that the walls of a neighbor is more important than her life. Not only did I want to acknowledge that for all the queens in this world, all the black queens in this world, but also the ones that's in my life, and my personal ones too. So I just kind of had a moment, yesterday, and I have a lot of moments, but I felt like it was important to let, black women know that they're not alone. No matter the disrespect or what they may feel, don't stop. Because that's exactly what they want you guys to do. They want you guys to stop. They want you guys not to be as powerful as you guys are, not as strong as you guys are, as determined as you guys are. They want y'all to be at bay. They want y'all to accept what's going on. And, I know for sure I won't allow that. I'll continue to, when they feeling down or they feeling like there's no journey for them or no gateway for them to be heard or be seen or be respected or be accepted. My job is to continue to let them know that they are. They're important to everything that goes on, not only in America, but in the world. Everything that goes on through 24 hours in a day, 365 days, 66 on a leap year. So that's what it's about.
Dan? Next question. Anyone? Chris?
Nah, we didn't talk about that. One thing we did, we just wanted to be there for our brother and Doe, because as much as it was devastating to us, you can only imagine it happening in your backyard, and Doe being from Louisville. We knew how tough it had to be on him and his family and the locals there. So, no, we didn't discuss that one bit, but I can't say that we were surprised at the verdict. None of us were surprised at it, and that's what's even more devastating. And none of us were surprised at what the outcome was.
Mark Spears?
Speaking of Bill, can you talk about how he played tonight?
Doe has been in a lot of playoff games. He's won a championship. He's played at the highest level, and it's someone that we can trust. And in the postseason, every possession is so important that when you can have guys that's been in the moments and can understand and also be able to make adjustments on the fly and know that you can count on them down the stretch, it just makes the team and you individually just feel so much more confident in the outcome. And Doe's been ever since he got back from injury and we started this playoff run, he's been exceptional.
Dan?
LeBron, you guys have been here 70+ days.
Thank you.
You might actually.
Why would you remind me?
Feel it every day. But going through these experiences like Kenosha, going through experiences like Breonna Taylor, as a group, you find kind of to each other. How has that changed how a team processes something like that versus the way that when these things have happened in the past and obviously continue to happen? How you guys would deal with it if maybe you weren't all together?
I think the best thing is that we have been together. We're able to see what's going on and be able to bounce things off one another and to be there for one another. This game is so much bigger than just us getting on the floor and running around and calling out screens and running plays and making mistakes and trying to figure out how we can be better the next time. There's also a big thing called life that's involved in this too. And to have, like you said, things that happen in Kenosha and a thing that's, with the Breonna Taylor case and so many other things that's going on in America as today as we speak and as we continue to move forward, being able to be around some people that you can trust, you can confide to, be able to talk to, bounce things off, and not feel like that you have to tackle it by yourself. And I think that's very important when you have a support system like that. And the best thing that you can have is a close-knit group, because we're together, more than we are with our families. So having that support is, it's pretty amazing.
Thanks, LeBron.
Appreciate it.
I know we've talked about this, and we will continue to talk about it. Players using their platform to speak on these issues. Karan and James has said it many times. It's something he did not do back when he was a player. Just not something, almost you'd feel blackballed if you did. So I hope these guys, because I think more than ever, where we are in our country, it's needed now more than ever that they use their voices.
Listen, I think that these guys recognize the moment. Just like in sports and whatever respective sports that you're in, you recognize the moment when it's game time, when it's fourth quarter, second half, big moment, you got to have something done. These guys recognize that it's a moment in our time that we're standing on the shoulders of giants when we think about our ancestors that had limited resources and had small platforms, but they still, stuck their neck out there on the strength of faith. There's so many individuals that have resource and access to larger platforms and connections where they can really have strong reach and real change and move the needle in that space. So I respect LeBron and so many others for just doing that at the forefront of everything.
And James, it takes courage, because a lot of people in this country will say, I don't want to watch anymore. I want them to just play. I want an escape, because what they talk about doesn't fit their narrative and their political beliefs. And that's supposed to be the beautiful part of our country. We're allowed to think differently and accept each other. But that's the frustrating part, I think, for me. And it takes courage for these guys to hear about that on social media.
Don't watch.
It takes a lot of courage. And, I don't know if it fits their narrative or not, but what it does is it exposes who they are. It exposes, you can't brush racism under the rug and think it's going to go away. And so I think that's what America is opening up to now. They're looking in the mirror and they're saying, look, this is who we are. And we've lived this way without speaking out, we just kind of turn the other way. So I think we're at a critical time right now. I mean, this is like it was when John Lewis was on Pettiton Bridge down in Alabama. This is one of those crucial moments when you look at the brutality and you look at, what's happening in the voting polls. And I think the NBA and the players have done a great job. Just look at what they've created. They're opening up their arenas for voting, polls and things of that nature where people can come and feel, comfortable voting. They're trying to encourage younger people to replace some of the elderly people. Because when you go to vote, mostly it's senior citizens that are working. Well, they're not going to be able to come out this time because of COVID. So we're trying to enroll younger people to work the polls. So there's a lot of things that the platform of the NBA has already created in a better effort to make sure that our election is safe.
Two really important things, I think, have kind of pushed the message forward. You got to look at social media. I mean, LeBron, if you combine his platforms, he can get to 110 million people. That's 1/3 the population of the U.S. by sending a tweet or doing something on Instagram. That's an amazing outreach right there. And then traditional media. James, Karan, were you guys asked these type of questions when you were players about social injustice? It just wasn't asked until recently. And I give the reporters, whoever they are, whatever their mediums might be, for asking the right questions too. Yeah. It's about time.
It's just a lot of things weren't believable. You come in and tell somebody, man, I got pulled over and I had to lay down on the ground. People might say, but when you start to see it on video, that has opened up a whole new world. And it's made people realize who didn't believe, now they say, oh, those stories really did happen. We didn't see a lot of them on video in the past, but I think now people see it. They can't believe it. They see people saying they can't breathe. They watch what I consider a lynching with a knee in the neck. And I think people are starting to wake up. As you can see, these are diverse protests. Young people of all different races who understand that we live together and we have to live in harmony. And I think we're doing a great job of recognizing what we need to do as a people, as a nation. And that's get out and vote and make sure that we can secure the things that we need in this country, which is peace, equality, and justice for people who deserve it.
Well said. Keep the conversation going. More to come on Access. LeBron James finished the game with 26 points in the Lakers Game 4 win. He had 14 free throws. That makes Michael Malone mad. We'll hear from the Brown next. He's speaking with Mike and the media.
Hey, Anthony. Mike Trudell here. Wanted to first ask you about the ankle, how it felt right after you rolled it, and how it feels now, and if you have anything you can expect for treatment tonight.
Ankle feels fine. I gotta, tonight, tomorrow, before the game to get it, back to, I won't say back to where it is, but good enough to play. Did rolled it, pretty bad, but not too bad. But I'll be fine.
Hey, what do you think was the difference in the game in that first half of the physicality that you guys showed as compared to the previous game, and how do you think that impacted the next night?
We were the aggressors tonight. We were more physical. They were the aggressors and the more physical team in Game 3, and we came out and played our solid basketball. Pretty much for the entire 48 minutes, we had some breakdowns on the defensive end, but for the most part, we played our style, and anytime we play our style, we're a tough team to beat. They fought and got back in the game, and we continue to just play the right way, play fast. Guys made some big-time shots, especially Doe, the three, and then his mid-range, and KCP with a huge three. Braun taking the challenge of guarding Murray at the end and getting big stops. So, and guys making big-time free throws. So, we played great down the stretch. We played great overall. Still some things that we can fix, if we want to put this team away.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned the challenge that LeBron took on with Murray, and even though you're the younger of the two between you and LeBron, do you ever feel like pride in the sense that the defensive commitment that he's shown this season in particular, and maybe your role in bringing that out of him in year 17?
I think he just loves the challenges, honestly, especially late game. Just on in with, guarding the best big. He wants to guard the best perimeter player and take on that challenge. He did it last series with James. So he wants to take on those challenges and make them score over him. He's a great defensive player. We trust him guarding those guys and making them finish over LeBron James. So he did a hell of a job at the end of the game on Jamal Murray. Especially making him drive and not beating us over the top with threes, and he was able to get a couple stops, and then also go on the other end and score as well. So, it's our job to protect him, to help him. On the defensive end, carrying a huge load and guarding him, but he wants that challenge. He wants that one-on-one challenge, and he did a hell of a job tonight.
Hey, AD, I actually had two questions. One was, you're up 3-1 and you guys have been here before and finished out the series both times, but is it hard to feel comfortable when it's this team that you have a 3-1 lead against? And then my second question is, how has Rondo been doing, being from Louisville and being, with the news yesterday? What has he shared with you guys about what's going on there and what it's like for him right now?
You can never be comfortable around this team. They've been in this situation twice. We've been in this situation twice. So both teams are familiar with these situations, but this team is not going to go away. Like I said, last game, we got to put them away. They're going to continue to fight, no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation is. And we just got to make sure that we counterpunch with everything that they do. As far as Doe, he haven't really said much about it, but we feel his pain as well. I mean, justice wasn't served, in a lot of people's eyes, and Doe being from Louisville, and even me just playing in Kentucky, I just understand how connected everyone is, and so I have a tie kind of somewhat, but we are here for Doe. We told him this morning and yesterday anything he needs from us. We have his back, no matter what it is. It's an emotional situation, and while we're here fighting for a championship, it's a lot of stuff going on in the real world, and we want to also be mindful of that and never lose our fight of what we're doing outside of basketball. And you could tell it's heavy on his heart for sure, and all we can do as a league, and especially us as a team, is be there for him, be by his side, and continue to support him and pick him up. But I mean, it's tough for all of us to come out and play, and for him to come out and play, especially the way he played tonight with everything going on in his backyard. His family's there, so he told me yesterday that they was already burning things down and stuff like that. So like I said, his family's there, and anything we can do to help him kind of just keep fighting, we're going to do.
Yeah, AD, coming off a loss, when you thought you were playing unacceptable, how much pressure do you put on yourself before a game like this to carry the team with your aggressiveness?
Just go out there and play. I feel like I was very aggressive tonight, especially to start. I think I still have to do a better job rebounding. It's just, when you got two bigs in there and you're the four, and Dwight so accustomed to going to the boards, he kind of takes a lot of them. I mean, but we've done a good job of putting me in situations to be successful and be aggressive, and they wanted to try to take me out of it in the second half, and I was just trying to make the right plays, finding guys, and guys started making shots. So I just came out, on my mind to be, ultra aggressive, knowing that, in our eyes, we don't want to lose 2 in a row, and it was a must-win game for us.
How good?
You mentioned it, what was Dwight's impact, especially in that first quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, there was a moment where West stayed in the center, or was he motivated to kind of play out the rest of the game in the center?
Dwight's impact this entire series has been very helpful for us. First half, he had 6 offensive rebounds. He's battling with Jokic. Just being a pest, and taking on that challenge. I mean, like I say, for a guy not to play last series and come in and huge impact, he stayed ready. Got the start tonight, and been playing well for us. And as far as the end of the game, you talking about when I broke my ankle?
I think after that, it just seemed like you guys weren't staying too long.
They were kind of trying to go offense, defense type thing. Jokic had a couple fouls. He came out the game. And I think they put Millsap and Grant at the 4 and 5. But crunch time, I'm really not coming out of the game anyway. So, and Markieff had just fouled out. So just kind of just stay small. Guys to make plays kind of match up with them. And, anytime Jokic came back in, then, we'll match up again. But late game, I plan on staying in whatever lineup that coach had.
All right, Rachel?
our competitive nature, our will to win. I mean, when he first got to New Orleans, he told me he came there because he felt like we had a chance to win. DeMarcus and I, and then having Drew. So he felt like it was a good opportunity for him to come in and try to help lead the team. So win the championship. DeMarcus get hurt, so it kind of took a turn in our season, in our playoff run. But when I got traded here, he was actually the first person I called, and told him that I wanted him to come back, because I knew how much I excel with him and how much of a leader he is, and his mindset on the floor and his will to win. And to have a guy like that, with his basketball mind, his IQ, with a guy like Bron with his basketball mind, his IQ, and a guy who's been, without counting last year, 8 straight finals, and Doe having a championship under his belt, they know what it takes. And but me and him just clicked. I mean, he's always in my ear about being the best defensive player on the floor, being the best offensive player on the floor, even when it doesn't seem possible. He might tell me I need to go block a shot or close out to a guy, and then if he swing it across the floor, I need to be there too. And I say, no, that's impossible. And he say he don't care. He like, you Anthony Davis, you should be able to do it. So he always put pressure on me to do the impossible things, and it's not easy. But if you want to win, you got to do those type of things. And he just been on me, since I've been his teammate, and he wants the best for me. He wants to win. I want to win. So, anytime you got 2 guys who want to win so bad, he said it's like he never won one because it's been 10 years, I think, for him. So he wants to win as bad as I do. And when you got 2 guys like that with another guy who, wants to win just as bad as us, we make a good team.
More to come on Access. Dwight Howard made the most of his start tonight. 12 points and 11 rebounds for Dwight. We'll hear from the Nuggets' Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic next.